Hello, my name is Benjamin Hart. I'm an American attorney and the Managing Director of Integrity Legal here in Bangkok, Thailand. This coronavirus thing is impacting us all in different ways, and unfortunately, it's simply something that we all wish never happened. It's just not a pleasant set of circumstances. Everybody in many ways is in sort of a limbo. Both their personal lives are put on hold as well as their professional lives, and it just isn't great. It's having a tremendous impact on immigration systems. So in Thailand, for example, there have been substantial ramifications to the Thai immigration system, and we've made many videos on this channel talking about that. Also, there have been substantial ramifications for the U.S. immigration system. USCIS has closed certain offices for certain services. Embassies outside the United States have suspended visa interviews, which is having the knock-on impact of basically no visas are being issued at the moment. And folks traveling in and out of the United States or trying to get into the United States, or if after, this video is being made at a certain time, and at the time folks are watching this, it may not even be particularly possible to get in and out of the United States very easily or get to other countries very easily due to various travel bans. Overall, this is having a huge impact on people's day-to-day lives, and it's having a tremendous impact on immigration in many different ways and in many different countries. And I'm making this video because this is the time, this is where the rubber hits the road, where you really see the difference between real lawyers and fake lawyers. And I know there are going to be those that are going to watch this video and say, why is he talking about this in the middle of coronavirus? Well, because I see the damage that these fake law firms, some of them call themselves a law firm, others of them, especially in the U.S. immigration context, we're just a service. We just help you fill out the forms. In the end, they're giving out advice, and oftentimes their advice leads to injuries. It leads to folks' cases being processed incorrectly. It leads to people seeking visa benefits they shouldn't be seeking. It sometimes leads to lying, which leads to a finding of fraud and misrepresentation on the part of either the Department of State or Department of Homeland Security, which can have tremendous, substantial, ongoing ramifications to people down the road. The reason I'm making this video is if you're seeking, for example, immigration services to the United States, seek out a competent legal professional, someone who is licensed, because situations like coronavirus create these unprecedented circumstances that need to be worked through. And unfortunately, someone who's simply a fake who fills out the forms, and that's all we're doing for you. They're not going to be any help if your case gets caught up at an embassy that's not processing cases out and is not going to be able to provide a lot of strategy with how best to deal with that. And there are strategies for dealing with, for example, an embassy coming back online after a prolonged shutdown. So coronavirus, for lack of a better term, isn't my first rodeo with at least the Thai embassy in Bangkok being shut down or not processing in the way that it usually processes. Prior government shutdowns have resulted in the visa units not processing cases out. I also, during the experience of the red shirt demonstrations here in Thailand some 10 years ago, also saw the embassy at least truncate their visa services, and then at one point, due to a transfer of their facilities, I saw an interruption of visa services, and we had to deal with the aftermath of that. That's what a practitioner does. Someone who is trained and qualified to handle these things, and then on top of that, has time in harness, for lack of a better term, dealing with this stuff, is going to be someone who you're going to want in your corner when for lack of a better term, when the you-know-what hits the fan, when problems arise, unforeseen, that come out of the blue and just dramatically impact one's case. It's an unfortunate set of circumstances we're dealing with here with coronavirus. We're going to get through it. It's going to come back online where cases are going to process through. But in the aftermath of that, we're going to be dealing with a backlog at both Department of Homeland Security and I suspect the National Visa Center, as well as the various embassies. For example, the ones I deal with most frequently, U.S. Embassy here in Bangkok, or the U.S. Embassy up in Vientiane, Laos, as well as the U.S. Embassy in Phnom Penh, Cambodia. We're going to be dealing with ramifications in all of those posts and at all of those agencies. And you're going to want someone who knows how to deal with that. In a Thai immigration context, probably a good idea to have someone who's dealt with this for years and years, been through the entire process, has qualifications in the legal field to provide assistance and insight, rather than just someone who really doesn't know what they're doing and is just kind of faking their way through things. Now, that all is great when times are good, but when something unforeseen arises that causes everything to go haywire, that's not the person you want assisting you. You want someone who knows what they're doing. So, again, I'm going to get off my soapbox now, but I wanted to make this video because, unfortunately, as all this has been going down, I have seen folks have really negative consequences, or they're dealing with really negative consequences from dealing with people who aren't qualified to provide the legal and immigration services they claim to be able to provide.